Welcome to Beyond the Razor Wire Fence. I'm Kelly Sheard, the director of the Gender Wealth Institute within Women's Way. Our mission is to advance gender and racial equity by building collective power to disrupt systems of oppression and strengthen alternative models centered in inclusion, love, and liberation. Over the last 7 months, Women's Way facilitated a narrative change fellowship with 7 women and gender expansive individuals with experiences of incarceration and reentry. With help from Love Now Media, our fellows honed their storytelling skill set to advocate for economic equity in Philadelphia. This podcast centers their stories. Beyond the Razor Wire Fence asserts that incarceration is a form of wealth extraction. Moreover, through this podcast, fellows depict the disproportionately deep impact for women, trans, and gender expansive people. The fellows' stories dive deep into how the carceral system perpetuates the gender wealth gap and calls attention to the institutionalized strategies of extraction before, during, and after incarceration. Through a combination of
To educate yourself, to teach yourself who you are, to teach yourself about yourself, your community, the things that everyone goes through. And that just takes some basic knowledge and reading, some fundamentals, right?
Right. I love that. And I love that you want to inspire through your story. I love that I follow you on Instagram. I see you. It looks like every week you're getting an award or speaking somewhere or being acknowledged. And I think that's incredible. So I'm wondering how this Change the Narrative Fellowship with Women's Way has influenced the way you think about your story, the way you think about the gender wealth gap, and the way you'll use your story to move forward.
I want to say first that I was one of those individuals that was a closet felon. And so this opportunity is inspiring me and also reinforcing my purpose to share. No longer am I a closeted felon. No longer am I scared to share this story. So what this has done is provided me an equitable platform to be able to let other women know that you can change the narrative by putting in the work. And so it won't change overnight. It won't bring you tons of wealth, but it will bring you a sense of consciousness and freedom to allow you to move forward as you go. And I thank you so much for paying homage to all of the accolades. But I will say it was a time when I didn't think that people saw me at all. And I thought that my being was invisible, being in foster care and placement, being a teen mom, being written off by so many individuals. And so, again, to come out of the closet essentially has been really life changing for me and gave me the opportunity to be seen, I believe, by others. So, thank you for seeing me.
Of course. And I guess my last question is really about what you need, Vicky. You're such a giver. You're like the mama of the group at times, when people are telling their stories, you're walking around the room giving hugs and cheering people on. What is it that you need when you think about your most vulnerable time? What could the system, could your community do for you?
Continue to be successful, continue to move in unity, continue to move in stride, continue to find purpose, continue to work on themselves. I get fueled when I see other people happy. I get inspired when I see other people living in their purpose. And so I think a lot of people think that I do for others, but really they do for me. And so when I walk around and seek of hugs and positive encouragement and energy, is really to fulfill myself so that I can continue to move forward. I need to hear and see the stories of the people so that I can be reminded why it's so imperative that we do this work and that we advocate for each other. And as a woman, I have always understood the difficulties, and I want to make sure that every woman has an equal playing platform in the work field, in the education realm, and in the business realm. And so, if I could say anything, it's just to continue to give me what you want to give yourself. And I thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Check the show notes in the episode description for more information about what you heard, as well as links to continue learning and get involved. At Women's Way, we're passionate about disrupting harmful narratives about wealth and uplifting those that center the voices of those most marginalized by the system. Give us a shout out on socials. What did these stories unlock or challenge in you? We'll catch you in the next episode of Beyond the Razor Wire Fence.